Oh, no.
One. Yeah, it's getting. Yep. All right. Can anyone hear that?
I think we'll be back. The quality I'm not sure about, but I think we're good. And like Jade said, you're only here for the Shanks, right?
Welcome back. Thanks for hanging around, those of you that did. In an era of disc golf where the nation's capital came alive on a Monday for the first time in years, in an era of disc golf where two guys named Jade can get the job done, and in an era of disc golf where a back nine video has gotten more views than a front nine video on the Park Media YouTube channel for the first time in history, we are back. Welcome. How are you chucking them, Jason?
For anyone with the PDGA app or any access to any recent scores, will be able to tell you terribly. But that back nine video getting more.
Yeah.
That puzzles me.
No idea.
To be honest.
No idea.
It's a back nine video, so it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, happy to be here. We've had a big couple of weeks, and I feel like I've just got back from Canberra, so I'm tired as anything, but ready to get into it.
Sweet. How you going, Kyle?
I'm going very well. I'm enjoying the fact that we are here and have audio to accompany video. That was just a little bit stressful, but we've made it through it. And regardless, the audio is still better than my disc golf performance over the weekend. So, yeah, that's about the state of things. Matty.
Yeah, how you doing, fellas? I'm on the codeine, caffeine, and Celebrex trio, so my mouth is incredibly dry, but my palms are incredibly sweaty. I have a bit of an injury at the moment. I'm dealing with that, but this is taking my mind off it, which is making me feel pretty good. Or it might be the codeine, but I'm going to say it's the show.
Amazing. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it a little bit more later. But we were, three of us, 75% of us were at the Sizzler on the weekend. And while there was no all-you-can-eat salad bar and cheese toast, we had a pretty good time. How did you find the nation's capital, Kyle?
Look, I've always had a bit of a soft spot for Canberra. I spent an awful lot of time there, and it did not disappoint. And it was even more exciting for me to watch little old Jace's face light up in the nation's capital. Jace, I think you were the biggest surprise there. Tell me about it.
I'm sold. I'm sold on Canberra. I think I told pretty much everyone at the tournament that what a wonderful place. What a wonderful disc golf course. Wonderful community. Beautiful, sleepy little city. I've started looking at real estate in the last week, so I can't wait. It's a sensational place. Loved it. Loved everything about it.
Well, we see Jade Brady's in the chat. He's coming for you, Jade. I'm sure there is... Well, I mean, he will have sold off the 4,500 Discmania discs he's got in his basement there, so maybe the little fella's got a place to sleep down there. So how have we been enjoying the disc golf world this week, guys? Have we seen anything interesting? Have we noticed anything, watched anything, done anything apart from go to Canberra and back?
Me personally, no, that's about the extent of my week. I got home at 4 a.m. on Tuesday morning, straight off to work, and haven't seen a lot of daylight since. So, I've been, forgive me if I'm a little off for this episode, but yeah, I haven't seen much this week, unfortunately.
Anyone else?
Look, yeah, it'd be remiss of us not to mention Chess.com Invitational.
Okay.
If we're getting straight into that, apparently. I don't know. I enjoyed watching it, and it was a delight to be able to watch it after the concerns we all had at All-Star Week.
You said we all had them.
What is it, Kyle?
Okay. All right, Jason. Nah, boys. It was a good watch. Plenty of disc golf coverage coming out at the minute with the US kicking back off. So I've been loving life.
Yeah. Fantastic. I mean, I'm enjoying the new coverage. I got to say out here, I had complete faith in DGN and whoever the bloody hell is doing their stats for them and everything. I don't care so much for the stats. I like to watch it and experience it live. You know, I don't have something when I'm watching the AFL that tells me, you know, who's going to kick the next goal or what the players are doing down back. I've just got to watch it and figure it out, don't I? So I was quite enjoying it and had very much faith in them. Something I did notice, some other coverage that came out from a recent overseas event. You see our man, the Bain Train. We haven't talked about him much on the Clubhouse yet, but our man, the Bain Train, was playing some skins over in Auckland, as they spelled it on GK Pro, Aukland. But he was playing some skins, and I noticed something. There are a few boys, it must have been a few local boys or a few boys that had played with Bainey in the crowd there. So let me set the scene. They're coming up to hole 18, and everyone else is obviously playing a practice round. You saw some orange shorts in the background, so I think Aussie D was there. You could see Timmy Bowen's hair. Reese Wiz was getting around. All the Aussie boys that were there were getting around supporting Bainey. And if you watch on the final hole...
Sears got it right here, second in the order. That's Luke Bain. Show us the way.
Luke Humphreys gets a nice intro. And here's our man. Look at him.
And let's do it.
That famous hat on.
Oh, my goodness. Get back.
Play it again.
It may have. Got the X. No good.
All right.
Sears got it right here, second in the order. That's Luke Bain. Show us the way.
You might have missed it there as he throws his tee shot. What about?
Come on. Oh my goodness. Get back.
So
It may have.
I think it's all the Aussie boys.
Got the X. No good.
As Bainey throws it, shout out friendly. Second that leaves his hand. So if that was you, I didn't recognise any of the voices, but if it was Aussie, Tim, I saw Reese Wiz, I saw who else getting around in the background? Connor Donnelly was there with what looked like a fantastic perm on the coverage there, caddying for Bainey. And there's about 3 or 4 guys that yell out friendly as the disc leaves his hand. So obviously some roosters that have played a bit of disc golf with Bainey before. But we should now segue into our first tournament recap of the night. We had the Ruffey Rumble down in Melbourne. Ruffey Rumble, 2 weekends ago, TD by Alan Brunsting. We had him on here on the last episode. Jason, take us through the lay of the land.
All right. Now, as we know, we broke this tournament up, or we didn't. Alan broke this tournament up over 2 days. So on the Saturday, we had the lower divisions up to MA 50. I'm pretty sure. And I'm just going to run through the results. Working from the lower divisions up. So MJ 15, Owen Maisie, plus 31 took that out. Good performance from him. MA 4, Dan Bradshaw over Aaron Ponadurai, I believe is how you say it. And Ben Matthews a shot behind. So that was a pretty close division there, but he took out the MA4.
Good on Benny Matthews for remembering to turn up.
MA3, Max Tats was pretty strong all day, but it was a pretty close division, that one. Lewis Penhole 1 shot behind. Chris Koo, Ashley Weidner, and Duncan McIntosh all a shot behind. Yeah, Duncan actually went in the lead to the second round.
Yeah.
But
And let it slip, Duncan.
yeah, typically Duncan.
No way. No bloody way.
He was. It was good though. I played with him in the morning, and he was on fire. He was parking everything. FA2, Tanya Bean, all the way down from Queensland. Thank you for coming, Tanya. Took out FA2 and MA2 with a commanding win. Don Carter, 8 down.
I had the pleasure of playing with him in the morning, and
Yeah.
dominant is the exact word that I would use.
Over Mikey
Red-
Hare and Sam Barnett, who we'll touch on it later, but Sam Barnett has been involved in a bit of controversy this week, and it is huge. It has taken over the disc golf landscape, and it would be remiss of us to leave it out. So we'll be touching on that later. We know you're watching, Sam.
Ooh.
And in the MA50, rarely plays a tournament. Mike van der Linden, even, and Jeff Brunsting 2 shots behind him. So that was the Saturday. Some good wins there. As we move on to the Sunday, I know I'm flying through this, but I need some sleep. So starting with the MA40 division, and a strong win to Taron Anderson, 1 down over Lee Thompson. Now, I understand only because he stopped me in the car park on the way out, but he wanted me to mention his 200, or actually it was about 873 metres, he called it, roller on the Monster. And did he park it, or was he
Park the Avenue?
He parked the Avenue,
Park
sorry.
16, yeah.
So, we know he loves a roller, so well done, Taron, on the win.
It's kind of like, I find like rollers are like off spinners in cricket, though. Like, it's not real disc golf, is it? Like, I mean, yeah, you can throw a roller, but it doesn't really count if it's 200 metres, does it?
It means something to Taron.
You can roll a round thing down a hill, Taron. Well done.
You've achieved what the cavemen achieved.
Shout out Jade Brady, who I'm sure is typing furiously away in the chat now. Anyway,
That's the roller.
onwards.
So on to the FA1 division, which is the 5-way battle these days, which we've been used to the 2-way battle, but it's a 5-way battle now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Georgia Carroll very strong by 11 shots over Anita Webber, and Emma 1 shot behind her. So a lot happening in the F1 division.
Anita's just coming up too and showing she's got the stuff.
Yeah, good on you. We love to see that.
Yeah.
We love to see that. On to MA1 and our boy Sebastian Williams with a very, very strong performance.
We play a lot with Seb and he puts in the work, so it's good to see the results paying off.
He does, and it was his birthday last week, so shout out. We missed his birthday dinner, but happy birthday, Seb.
Big love.
MP40. Now, this was the division that we're all waiting to see. Ruben Berg, Darren Stay-Smith, Chris Hart, and John Cranston.
Big
But
names.
Ruben Berg, because he went down and practiced the course for about 6 months before it,
He did.
was very, very strong.
He played all possible versions of a course that could be played at Ruffey Lake.
He did. But he took it out by 4 shots, and Darren Stay-Smith with the gravy and chips halfway through didn't get the job done, but it was pretty hot in the afternoon. So
I did ask Daz about his gravy and chips. Being Canadian, I asked him if it was poot or een that he was eating, and he told me it was just the poot.
right. And FPO was another interesting one. Claire Hussey came on strong in the second round and won by a shot over Cassie Sweeten. So massive performance from Claire.
Wow,
And Tosh was third in a few shots behind. So that was a good one to watch. Ripping division to watch there.
Yeah, well, Cass isn't going to take that line down. It's going to make the Vic Open very, very
Yeah, things looking very interesting for the MP40. Would you say? FPO. Would you say, boy? Sorry, I'm so tired, guys. But on to MPO. Now, this is the one we saw. This is the one we followed. This is the one we filmed. And if you haven't checked out the footage yet, check it out because it is ripping. Because you get to see this guy on footage, Jade Smith, who is possibly the greatest looking man I've ever seen in my life, who can throw a disc. But he was massive.
He's not even the best looking Jade in disc golf.
I don't know, legs, hair,
I
shadow.
commentated
It's all
him
refined.
and really, Matty and I just couldn't stop gushing, really.
Yeah, we apologise if we went a bit over the top.
So, yeah, he got 3 shots. He got the win by 3 shots over Aiden Howard, Ryan Deere, and Blake Nichols in 4th. So that's a wrap for the Ruffey Rumble. What did we all think, guys, of the tournament? Layout? What do we think?
Oh, the layout was awesome. Obviously, Alan did a sweet job from start to finish. Cut a few corners, but you don't notice it when the quality of the tournament's that good. In terms of the performances, I think we need to give a bit more airtime to Aiden Howard. He's starting to become a real mainstay in the podium finishes.
He is.
And he's just rock solid, and I can see the wins starting to stack up if he keeps playing the way he's playing.
Old Hawaiian Howard. He's looking good.
Yeah. He's holding his place, isn't he? He's really holding his place there in that MPO division, which He initially, as we've said a million times, he joined just to play more disc golf and play with better players and push himself. And he's really holding his own up there, Aiden. So it's interesting to see. It's good to see. He worked his way onto that lead card and played a really solid round against an incredible competitor in Jade Smith.
Sorry, just watching the comments there. He's easily the second best Jade playing disc golf. Sorry about that, Brady.
And we just see in the comments there, I think it's Frosty. Frosty's assured us that very interesting development in the merch side of disc golf. That Bainey is thinking of getting friendly merch done up. That'd be something, wouldn't it? Just a picture of Bainey with his little hat and his moustache just smiling at you and friendly underneath it. That'd be a T-shirt. Kids would get around that T-shirt, wouldn't they?
Kyle's already mentioned football.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be my new coverage fit, Matty.
What is it?
the Bainey friendly merch.
Yeah, like it.
Yeah.
Like it.
Might improve our card quality, not looking at anyone.
No, I like it a lot. So anything else on the Ruffey Rumble before we move on, guys? I had a great time. I thought it was a fantastic tournament split over the 2 days. Great course. Great, well thought through by Mr. Brunsting, which is not something I'd seen myself saying at the start of the year. Something as well thought through by Alan Brunsting. But he's done a fantastic job. Thought about the players rather than the frills of the tournament, as he would put it. And everyone had a blast. Everyone was raving about it. Speaking of things everyone is raving about, let's get into one of the most famous segments of the show.
You break every step you take. I've been watching you.
Yeah, so I've been out of action, so I've had a lot of time to go through all the disc golf social media, and a few things have caught my eye this week again. A couple of mates of mine, they don't know me, but I'm going to consider them mates. Big Fella and the Beast, they're doing it. They're some of the hottest content on disc golf social media.
You're enjoying it?
The guys have got a great sense of humor. This video that I found, I think it was yesterday. If you're a Simpsons fan, you've got to enjoy this one.
You ever look at someone and wonder what is going on inside their head?
God.
Now, look, there's a bit of bias there. I'm a huge Simpsons fan, but I still don't know who Big Fella or Beast or this dog guy are. They all look exactly the same to me. They're just kind of like average-looking guys with facial hair and a bit of a build about them, but they can throw a disc.
They can throw a disc. Matty, your WA allergy would alert me to the fact that they are Jacob Davies and Tom McNeely, for those who won't know out there.
Yep.
And the dog is actually an alter ego.
Okay. Well, boys, can you maybe just label your videos so I can discern the three of you? Because it's great content. It's just a little confusing for me. But that's at Big Fella and the Beast. They're one of my favorite follows on Instagram at the moment.
Hitting hard media watch.
Look, that's what I do here, right? It's a critical eye. This next one. This is some of the best production I've seen for a disc golf post. I don't know what Reese Wisniewski's background is in cinematography, but yeah, check out this. Well, it's almost a cinematic trailer.
Silent Hill vibes.
No, I'm getting scared, actually. I don't like, I don't like horrors.
That's Saxby?
I think that's Chris Saxby.
Oh, I see. I thought that was the door. That's the awesome. That run, isn't he?
All right, I just have so many questions. I hope you guys can answer them. First of all, I'm assuming it's a reference to his glove, bring the friction.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be.
That's like the tagline to an adult film.
Can I just make a point on that? At the Sizzler, was he not wearing a glove?
Didn't wear it. No.
He wasn't wearing the
It
glove.
wasn't 36 degrees.
It's a wet
right?
glove, from
Okay.
what I'm told. Yeah.
We're all waiting for it.
Where's the branding? Honestly.
The solo eagle brag, he just slipped that in there pretty subtly. It was like a 2-second thing, just giving himself a big old pat on the back there.
You are hitting hard
Reece,
tonight.
discretion is the better part of valor, my friend. Show some humility. He's and I'm not sure what his relationship is with the Canberra boys there, but doing Jay dirty with the missed part and then stirring him up in the bowler suit, that they were fighting words.
How'd he go?
I don't know.
Not well.
And how did Jade go?
You lit that fire, Reece. Let that be known. And my biggest gripe, I'm not a fan of stealing or thievery, apart from the fact that I stole this from a Fox Footy segment. His you can't see me. If anyone watched wrestling,
John Cena.
mate, like you can move the body in an almost countless amount of ways.
You can't.
You can see
My range of motion is currently limited, but you need your own thing there, Reece boy. Nah, look, another great follow in all seriousness at Reece Disc Golf for the Riz Wiz, which I think is a nickname he just gave himself.
Frosty just letting us all know that they all smashed him.
Thank you, Frosty, for the stats update.
Go team, guys, a flight.
All right, we're all having a laugh, but I want to shift gear here. This one's a little more serious in nature. Ash.
Oh, Alex just takes me very far.
You would know it. Now, we've all been there. We've all suffered the mental health concerns that can be induced by disc golf. And I just love seeing a young guy sort of, give that a bit of airtime. The main reason I put it in the segment, though, is because I promised him I'd buy a hat maybe 2 or 3 months ago, and I never did. So I'm here just to plug Atticus's page, just as a bit of a sorry, mate. The order's coming. Jason and I will be wearing a hat on the next episode. I promise you that.
I left Matty in charge of buying the hats, Atticus. I'm sorry.
Atticus, make sure, come into our socials and make the stipulation they have to be like white hats that they're wearing. Because I'm 100% Matty's just going to nick mine. So, yeah.
2 orders for white hats coming.
Actually,
Atticus.
can we make a pledge that by next Clubhouse episode, we will be wearing Atticus hats?
You got 2 weeks. Hope Atticus has got them in
I
stock.
think we owe him that.
Boys, I really hope this doesn't put a delay on our next episode. This could be a problem.
Atticus, you'll be the first person I message after this show, I promise. This one, not a video, just a still, an ad from one of my favorite online disc shops, Portal Discs. Now, there's a bit going on here, and I'm not sure they understand their target demographic, because it's pretty niche. So obviously it's a reference to what would you say? They're like hard rave band product. The Prodigy. Yeah.
Yep.
Looking at this makes me want to take an illicit substance, put on Fire Starter by Prodigy, and go to do 6 to 8 hours worth of field work.
I like it.
Yeah, that is some very, very clever marketing. I reckon that's got Jacob Cruden written all over it.
Yeah. He would have been to Rainbow Serpent a few times.
I've seen some of his old display pics. Jacob, He was a bit of a reptile back in the day. I'm going to hazard a guess.
It's actually a crustacean.
A clawed creature, let's just say that. At Portal Discs, one of my favorite places to go when I need a new disc. Old mate, Camille Abransky, he's at it again with another sharp, informative review. Check this one out.
Whatever this says. Water carry.
Oh boy.
That's not a water carry.
No beans. Beans.
That's a severe lack of beans, mate.
Cam, just so you know, the word on that disc said paradigm, as in your segment needs a paradigm shift because your reviews are crap. I don't know anything about throwing. Something's got to change, mate. I'm not learning a thing. Not great content. You could take a leaf out of Big Fella and the Beast book. They've got their thing and they're doing it well. Are you review? Are you comedy? Obviously, it's comedy. We really love you, Cam. That's at Cam Plays DG. We plugged that last episode. Another really good follow at the moment.
Looked like he'd already been in the drink too in that video.
He does always kind of look wet, doesn't he?
Yeah,
like he hasn't
wet. Part of that van life, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a wet James Franco.
He doesn't get a chance to wash his hair often.
Yeah.
And then this last one. Look, this young lady, she's one of the, I guess, influencers for Queen Disc Golf, I believe they're called. And she's demonstrating a pain that we've all felt. It's a short video. Ash.
All my fellas.
Said that one.
All my fellas.
Now, I didn't have a lot of luck reaching out to the FPO player we had on the segment during our Valentine's Day episode, but this girl actually does need to meet me. She needs to reach out. She needs to know I'm Australia's forehand guy, and then I can just iron out the kinks in that form. I can give her some tips.
Matty.
Matt.
I'm sorry, mate.
That's all right.
I have to step in here.
I was on a roll there. But...
Sorry, we do hear often how you're Australia's forehand guy, and you do publicise yourself as such. But you might know a little segment I run called Lamb Shanks. It's currently taking the world by storm.
Okay.
Now, there's certain criteria for Lamb Shanks, and I've come across a video that unfortunately is too vile for even the Lamb Shanks episode. But if you're wondering at home why Matty calls himself Australia's forehand guy, take a look at this video. This, as he lines one up. Oh,
Oh, okay. I didn't think you'd have access to that.
well, we need to change the rating of this show after what showing up.
Jason, I hope the health inspectors don't show up because that concoction is
Not
food safe.
The worst part about that video, guys, is where was that, Matty?
That was in Estonia.
So you've taken that overseas and shown that to the world as Australian disc golf.
I had an Estonian filming it.
Yeah, it doesn't make it okay, Matty.
I know.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing
It's because you're contributing to the local economy. It's like when they came to Australia and made Ghost Rider.
I mean, as Jay Brady says, that is straight surf and turf.
Oh, boy.
All right, well, you pulled the rug out from under me there, boys.
I'm sorry.
That is this week's Matty's meeting. I can't have to talk.
Oh, good.
Won't you break every step you take? I've been watching you.
Alrighty. Well, we can't put it off much longer. I'll put it, sneak that little sideways wipe in on me. Nicely done. Well done. Yes. So we can't put it off any longer, ladies and gentlemen. We were in Canberra over the weekend, as you might have heard from Jason, and we played the Sizzler. Couple of things about that. I used to work at Sizzler back in the 90s. This was very different to working at Sizzler. I enjoyed this a lot more. I was there on the last day of Sizzler, and I managed to meet one of the executives of the Sizzler restaurants back in the 90s who was coming to apologise for us for ruining, Sizzler. And I managed to shake Ryan Michelle's hand last weekend, who ruined the Sizzler by holding his wedding on that same weekend. And meant a lot of the Geelong guys couldn't go. But it looks like they had a fantastic day. Congratulations, Ryan and Shelby, I believe it is. Hope you're very happily married.
So Shelby Michelle?
It says Shelby on Facebook. Could be Michelle.
No,
Shelby Michelle.
Name's now Shelby Michelle.
Shit, you go with double barrel, wouldn't you? Yeah. It doesn't matter what your name is. They're happy. They take some great Christmas photos. Anyway, let's talk Sizzler. Weston Park, Canberra, 21 of the 40,000 holes that they've got there. Locals complained it wasn't 27 because that's what's in their body. I complained it was 21. How did we feel, gentlemen?
I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
And I told all the Canberra boys that their course is amazing. And one mention that I did say is Crater Lakes, you're on notice because this course is unbelievable. And it can only get better. There's so much more room there and so many ways they can play that tournament that, to me, for the disc golf tournaments I've been to, Crater Lakes was way out in front. But it's got someone nipping at its heels, and it had the weather. The weather was sensational. It was probably a little hot, but that's why they call it the Sizzler.
Absolutely.
Clear skies, very little wind, which I'm told is weird at Weston Park. But, this tournament for me is right up there.
Yeah.
You did a wonderful job, boys. Frosty and the boys up there, wonderful job.
Well, Frosty's fired a shot in the chat, more like Crater Lames.
Oh,
yeah.
it's on. Well, I was hoping to incite a bit of rivalry.
I was going to say, hopefully Michelle and Ryan in Mount Gambier aren't listening, but you know what? Hopefully they are. It's on. It's on. Kylo, how did you go?
Look, as I mentioned earlier in the show, always have a fantastic time in Canberra. This was no exception. I still reek of sunscreen. Means I was well protected. But, Matty, I'm so sorry, mate. And, yeah, we got some good footage.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just enjoyable all round. The first hole, it's been starting from the first hole. To me, the first hole was a classic tournament championship hole.
Yeah.
They had the markers out there showing you how far you're through, big wide open. Everyone got to wind up in front of everyone.
Yeah.
Great fun. Not so fun if you shanked it, but great fun and a great start to the tournament. Everyone's in high spirits. If you played the blues, you had a nice easy par five. So it was great. But no, look, mixture of everything, wonderful. I can't speak highly enough. And I'm on realestate.com at the moment looking for property in Canberra because that's it. I'm done.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting you mentioned that par 5 on the blues and par 4 on what was it? It was a puce, beigey, taupey colour, the other tee signs?
Gold.
It wasn't gold.
It was a dull.
It was a brownie puce sort of colour.
It was a dull gold.
Dull gold, yeah. Canberra gold, fool's gold. Yeah. But anyway, taken straight out of the Reserve Bank. Anyway, but that par 5, I really liked it. I like starting like a lot of holes. Like what was it? One at Crater Lakes last year was over the barbecues. You know, and it's a hell of a hole. Like it's a likely bogey for anyone. You know, for the lower division straight off the tee. A lot of OB. This one it was just pump. You know, give yourself a crack at the basket.
Yeah,
and,
loved it.
That's how pretty much everyone played it.
Loved it.
But like Jason said, a lot of opportunities. Trees on the right that we saw a lot of frisbees go into that had no right to go in there. Even saw a few people go OB in the car park, which was which is kind of what you did.
Sorry, Frosty. I know you mentioned to me that that OB was more a formality than a in play place, but day one mistakes were made. I only took a bogey though, so that's okay. There was plenty of more damage to be done later.
It's the kind of first hole you want, though, isn't it? And I mean, it didn't stop there. You had hole 2 up the tunnel, which someone pointed out in someone's video. I think it was Zach James put up videos of him playing that hole, and the tunnel looked so wide on hole 2. It really wasn't. Barely, it was. I couldn't give a measurement.
I don't think Chris Hill had any trouble with it.
Chris Hill had absolutely no problem with it at all.
Just decided to ace it on day one.
Just chucking his goat in there, I think it was. Yeah. But can't speak. Phil Tweed, we should mention. We've got did a lot of work over the weekend. We didn't have much of a time to have a chat. But Phil Tweed there all day, every day, announcing the cards and announcing all the players' names and all that sort of malarkey. And obviously all the Canberra boys, I understand Frosty had a lot to do with it. And there was another gentleman hanging around.
Adam Stewart.
Both of them. Adam and Stewart.
Sure.
Right, okay.
But, the wider ACT Disc Golf Club always put on a fantastic tournament. So shout out to all those club members who put in the hard yards.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of yards.
Yeah.
Great.
I mean, I had Frosty come around with our card. I think he was there for his mate, Shane. I think it was on my card day 2, lead MA3 card.
No, he wasn't. He followed Kyle and I around for about 6 holes. He was having a great time watching it.
Well, I think
he didn't have his phone away the entire time.
I said to Frosty, he goes, "Oh, I've just been watching Kyle and Jason." I said, "Oh, how are they going?" And Frosty went, "Yeah." But he came out and followed us around and supported his mate and everything, and it was great to have a chat and get some time to have have a chat with the big man and ask him about the course and hole 13, the water carry that we saw Cam Abratansky on Cam Plays DG not throw before. The rumor was that it was Frosty's idea, that hole, and I asked him directly, and he said it was designed by a committee.
That's very Canberra.
Bit of focus group. But yeah, some really real great innovation on that course. Didn't really go overboard with much at all, which I don't think you need to when you've got such a great place for us to play disc golf. Lots of, I won't say elevation, but undulation, which, makes it very interesting. And what about the lake? Like you come out of a hell stretch coming down hole 8. And then you round a bend and all of a sudden there's a beach out of nowhere. First time I've played disc golf course with a beach on it, I think.
It was terrific. And I myself, after round 3, before we drove home, went for a dip in there. And it is absolutely beautiful.
It's stunning.
Beautiful.
Stunning. Apart from the committee's taking complaints by email. Well, apart from all the DD3s and random discs that are in the drink at Lake Wendouree, it's a lovely swim. So we should get on to the results, guys. How did we fare? How did the players go?
So just going to run through the divisions. FA4. I think I got this right. The scores are all... no, sorry. I'm tired, guys. FA4 was won by Sarah Moore over Tilly Smith. Well done, Sarah. FJ15, Lily Nicholson. Love. Great effort, Lily, just to get around the course. I mean, I had a tough time, so well done. MA4, Bradley Menard by 12 shots over Josh Sargent. So, Bradley...
A canter.
Time to go up, mate. I think actually, from memory, Phil actually called him from the bloke when he introduced him on the final day. He said, "And the bloke playing in the wrong division."
He did too, actually.
Bag of clones.
Yeah.
I started early.
Now, MA3, now this was some action because this one went down to a playoff between Dean Parrott and Peter Bennett. Dean, I actually followed Ash around because I don't know if many people know this. Ash was on lead card for the entire tournament, or for the second 2 rounds anyway.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. So I was caddying for him for the last 5 or 6 holes, and Dean was a shot behind on 20, on hole 20.
Yep.
Got that shot back on hole 21 by landing on the island, and then it went to a playoff, and Dean actually came out on top. So, massive effort, Dean. And from what I saw, Dean and Peter, sensational players. Well done. That whole lead card actually was 10 shots clear of the rest of the field. So, well done. And well done to Ash, because Ash was huge on the weekend. Massive.
Yeah. Thanks, mate. I was pretty happy with the tournament, and it was great to play with Dean the entire weekend. Highly rated player, reasonably experienced player, but Javier, can't say his last name, and Peter on that last day really took it down to the wire. I kind of dropped off in the last 10 holes or so and started to lose a few strokes. But Dean, I sort of started having a chat to Dean. I could see he was tightening up a bit, and just giving him the old, he'll play your game, do what you can. He'll give you an opportunity. And sure enough, the next hole, Pete missed a 5-meter putt, and then he put one very well in a terrible position off the next tee. And I just kept looking at Dean and raising my sunglasses and going, hey, and Dean just stayed with him. And the putt that he sunk on 21 to force that playoff, he was sort of under if those that know the course, he was under the tree. Right-hand side as you're looking at the fairway, sort of. He would have been, outside C1? Dean's putt. Yeah, Frosty saw it. Yeah, it was incredible. and he just sunk it cold as ice. So, yeah, well-deserved win from Dean, and then he sunk another edge of circle putt in the playoff as well. So, yeah, just wanted to shout that out to Dean if he ever watches this. Yeah, incredible weekends playing. Peter, great to play with you. And Javier, you're a weapon. Go up.
FA2 division was taken out by Margaret Trail over Sharon Costa. MA2, another massive win. Now, I'm going to hold up for a bit here. I've been flying through it, but there is a lot of controversy around this MA2 segment, this MA2 division. So Bradley Dostal, we shouldn't include in this because Bradley played a fair game. Well done. He won by 11 shots. He was massive. And I spoke to a guy that played on his card, the guy we're about to speak about. He said he's on another level. So well done, Bradley, and hasn't been playing that long, but can throw a disc. He won over Sam Barnett. Now,
Jason, you can't say his name.
Do we distance ourselves?
Sam Barnett. It hurts me to say this because he's a close friend of all of ours at Park Media.
Dear friend.
And I love him to death and drove up to Canberra with him and stayed with him and spent a lot of time with him, but was shocked to hear. Disappointed, yeah. I think, to hear that he cheated on day one. Blatantly cheated. Yeah. Just took his group. Now, I understand he was the leader of this group. He took his group to the wrong tee pad and decided that he was going so well at that point that he wanted to play the blue instead of the gold. Because I remember asking him afterwards, I said, how'd you go? Did you get on the island? Thinking, that was a decent over 100 metres throw to get on from the gold. And he went, yeah. And I went, geez, he's confident. He doesn't throw it that far. But, like I said, I found out a bit later on that he did actually cheat. And it's sad. What did you think about it, Kyle?
Well, I think I can pinpoint the exact moment that he actually realised.
I remember I was there.
Yeah, it was... Look, we were on the job, business as usual, and we got to hole 21 and got to the tee pad, and Sam planted himself, and the rest of the car just kept walking to the gold tee.
So for context, there,
we're
walking around filming the MPO card. We're obviously playing the Puce brownie off beige tees, and. Barney walked up to the blue tee that he played accidentally earlier in the day and wondered why everyone was going to the other tee pad. So that's the point. That's when you know you fucked up.
Yeah, so he look, to his credit, he did get on the front foot when he realised and sort of...
Barney's watching. There he is. Tee pad's come out of nowhere.
And he got on the front foot and emailed the TD, and I think... He took a two-shot. The whole card took a two-shot penalty, which they took. I mean, Sam led the whole thing. He was a mastermind behind the whole thing. But he took a two-shot penalty for bringing the game into disrepute. So, well done. But no, all seriousness, well done, Barney, on your second place.
An ultimate player, isn't he, Barney?
Barney?
Sounds like something an ultimate player would do.
No, look, with this, I thought I knew Barney well before this weekend, but now I'm just not 100% sure anymore.
Barney, should have seen my drive on that wrong tee pad. Yeah, don't get too cocky, Barney. I made it as well. I was playing the right tee pad.
So anyway, enough about, I don't want to spend too long on the negative here. We just hope that you can come back from that, Barney, because we know there's deep inside there's a really good guy.
There is.
MA50 was won by Matthew Lammy, or Matt Lammy, I think he's affectionately known, by 6 shots. So well done, Matt. FA40, Carol Hartley over Jennifer Bailey. Kyle, you got something to say?
No, I'm just pointing out Frosty. Asking Sam if he would have preferred the 5 to taking his natural score of 7 from that. We'll leave that for the comments to work out.
Like that strategy for next year.
Couldn't believe it was only 2-shot penalty. He did remark in the car driving home that he might employ that strategy on a couple of the other ones.
That sounds to me like I'd do it again if I had the chance.
Hole 13, I'm looking at you.
MA40, Nicholas Hall, who we all know gets a lot of tournaments around Australia. Yep. This is his home course, and he was 3-shot winner over a bloke that came second.
Angelo Archidiacono.
You've done well there, Jay.
Archidiacono.
Angelo's.
I'm tired. I'm really tired, guys.
Ange Postecoglou.
FA1 was won by Kirsten Murray over Claire Bruton in second place. And MA1 was our old mate, Justice Holbert.
Woo! Yeah.
From Justice. What's he called? Justice?
Disc Golf Justice.
Disc Golf Justice. Sorry.
Murray, another candidate.
So, yeah, he was solid and was leading all weekend. So, well done, Justice.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
And Victoria's own Justice Holbeck now.
Yes.
Really?
Actually, got more of a scoop on this.
Yeah, I had a good chat to him about he's made the move down south of the border to somewhere out near Traralgon.
Yeah,
He's
right.
spoken to me at it would have been maybe Eruption or probably Queensland champs actually last year, about wanting to get somewhere he could have some property, have some horses, I think he said, and just get a bit more regional. And so he's moved down to Traralgon. So yeah, we'll hope to see Justice at a Bald Hill social day sometime soon or something.
Absolutely.
Stony Creek, maybe we'll take him on. But yeah, great play all weekend. I think he led pillar to post there, Justice. So yeah, great play.
And MP40, Ryan Johnson with a fairly commanding 7-shot win over. I've done it again. Olatunji Akposani.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah. So well done. Sorry about that, Olatunji. If I got your name wrong.
Just keeps getting it done.
And Jonathan Jonas in third position.
JJ.
FPO. Now, FPO was an interesting one because we all remember what happened at Nationals, and Jennifer Lunn was pretty commanding in that win at Nationals. Impressive. So Sarah Lee definitely going in the underdog, would you say?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think she would have said that too.
Yep. But yeah, just had 3 magical rounds and really, really put her on notice. So she's not going to go away, Sarah Lee. She's not just going to let Jen walk in there and win the tournament.
It might have had something to do with the fact she stayed at the clubhouse for a week leading up to.
She did stay at the clubhouse, and that could only have done positive things.
Magic in these walls.
Yeah, she was in situ at the clubhouse for the week leading up to the tournament. We also should note, so look at Nationals, right? Practice round with with Timmy Bowen, Reese Wiz, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sizzler, who'd she play a practice round with?
The Parks Media Boys.
The Parks Boys.
We definitely, I saw at some stage that she was definitely sort of looking very closely at the way we, attack the holes and that. And I could see her taking notes in her head. So thank us later, Sarah, for that one. But well done on the win.
Hold a disc with the thing. Hold a disc this way and going, what the hell are you doing there? Yeah. What's that? Because I thought you're supposed to throw it like this, and it just does that. Yeah.
And
learned a lot from the Park Boys, I reckon.
And obviously Sam Ockerby making the jump up to FBO. Well done, Sam. We're glad to see you get up there and have a crack in third position. Now, MPO was a good division to watch. There was plenty happening. It seesawed back and forth, but one bloke popped his head up on day 2 and had a massive round and really didn't look back. Well done, Jade. You were enormous, mate. Yeah, absolutely enormous, and deserved the win. And I saw him keep his temperament very measured, from what I saw. Yeah. We see those Canberra boys often just lose their way a little bit during this golf round.
Especially
can't imagine any of them.
Frosty's an absolute rage monster. So it's yeah. But no, you're right. They can.
And Aussie D's prone to start thinking about dinner about hole 9.
Yeah, and don't even talk to him if he hasn't had his Red Bull. My goodness. Someone get that man a Red Bull sponsorship.
So, yeah, once again, well done, Jade, on a wonderful tournament, mate. You really showed them how to play your home course, mate.
It was flawless almost. Clinical that last round. Like, he just did what he had to do.
And, yeah, so, Matty, what were you going to say then?
Oh, we had Dean Feeley, who was unfortunately a late exclusion from the show, feed us a bit of a stat earlier.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Jade Brady, the only player to ever go back-to-back at the Sizzler. We went back to, 2015?
Yeah.
if we could get a confirmation in the comments
I
there,
reckon
guys.
there's 2 blokes in the comments that would know if that's true or not.
Well done if you did.
Back-to-back's massive.
Massive, Jade.
I'm a Brisbane Lions fan. Back-to-back is huge. Do it a third time and I'll actually be impressed.
Though charging home, we should mention too, Dylan Feldman and Dave Perry and Chile all finishing on 22 under. So, yeah, that was pretty close at the end. They all had their chances to sort of capitalise. Dylan had an eagle putt on 20, which I don't know how he got there in 2, but he did. And I saw it, and the disc genuinely went that far after 2 shots, and it was enormous.
Yeah. He was furious after his tee shot and has pumped a forehand. It would have been 140 metres
down the right-hand line,
Forehand the
which
second.
which
Backhand the second. Backhand,
second,
yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was watching it the
So,
right way.
and the locals told us one thing about that par 5: stay away from the right-hand side.
Yeah.
And Dylan just pumped one down the right-hand side and parked it in the circle for 2. So, I mean, he was huge, Dylan. He was huge. It was great to watch.
For anyone, we've got a group chat with some of the guys back in Melbourne that weren't able to make it, and you'll see on the footage, Kyle, I'm holding up my phone after most shots. I was sending voice notes to these guys who wanted to know what the hell was going on, and just sort of going, "Yep, Dylan somehow fucking parked that for eagle on hole 20," and and sending them things. But I actually didn't notice Chile coming out of nowhere to make himself part of that second place battle, because they were all talking about Dylan and Dave going back and forth, and you'll see it when we get the footage out. That'll be on our channel, won't it?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be front 9 gatekeeper, back 9 Park Media, so keep an eye out.
And one thing to keep an eye out, in that last round, I'm pretty sure it was the last round, hole 9 tee pad, Chile takes a massive stack.
Oh, no.
And he just gets straight back up as if nothing happened. He hit the deck hard. Like, it hurt me, and I was standing 5 meters away. So, plenty of action, plenty of things to see.
So Chile really, he just sort of didn't come out of nowhere, played really solid all weekend, but all of a sudden Chile's part of that conversation coming into hole 21. So freeway tied for second. What more can you ask?
Yep.
I mean, it's not a spoiler. It happened on Monday, and there's live scores. So fantastic finish.
And Aussie D just won behind him in 5th, even though he wanted to go home at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, look, I was speaking to Aussie, hole 14, I believe. He decided to crack out the blue V from his bag. And then after sculling that, walked up to the tee and was like, oh, I can see things now. So a man can only wonder what would have happened if Aussie cracked that on hole 1. But you know what? We've got plenty more chances to figure out what he can do.
He's good. He's what he can do. He knows what he can do. We all know what he can do. So looking forward to seeing him bounce back. But that's my wrap of the Sizzler. I think, I can't speak highly enough. And if I keep going on, I mean, I've spoken more about the Sizzler than I did about Jade Smith. So
you have. But it's great. Look, it's great to see. I know, being Jason's brother, I know he hadn't been to Canberra since we were
12, 13,
Yeah, 12, 13. And it was great to take him back there. I love the joint. I didn't get to Impact Comics this time, but I usually do when I'm in Canberra. Next time, we won't miss the Sizzler again, and we hope to have to fight you for positions at the Sizzler next year, because it is a top-shelf Australian disc golf tournament. So one more time, congrats to the Canberra guys on putting on a fantastic event.
Yep. Bravo.
Yeah, well done. That was a smattering if I ever heard it. It leads us in nicely after our first major of the year. It leads us in nicely to bringing up something that we brought up at the first episode. We're going to talk about our retailers, constructors championship points for all our retailer teams. Kyle and I will put you on. I'll put it on the screen for you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ashley. Now, a lot of you may have seen that Foundation Disc Golf and the Two Alive podcast has taken an awfully big interest in this for the US rankings. But we all know you've been sitting here waiting for the Clubhouse to come out with the most important rankings of all, and that is the Aussie Disc Golf Retailer Championships.
Yep.
And here we are. We're headed straight into MPO, first of all. And the battalion sitting at the top, flying aces in MPO. 32 points.
Squadron, they fly high.
That is fantastic.
I see the Perry and Feldman pushing each other through that back half of the course. That may be the effect of that we're seeing there.
Absolutely, I would say so. And then followed very closely behind. I mean, there's a bit of gap, mind the gap after first and second, but Ginny Disc Golf Shop with the quality over quantity approach does it again. We saw it finish up last year.
I feel like the Ginny Disc Golf Shop are the rock stars of this championship.
They've got the eye-catching jump.
Yeah, they are. They're just rock stars. So
Tommy Tulip is a bit of an architect. He's constructed a fantastic team for the shop.
He has.
And then
he had the most popular boot at the tournament too, by the way. Just people just walking up to his boot every morning, just selecting frisbees on the slide.
More popular than Bainey's.
Depends what habits you have.
But yeah, no, Tommy really made his mark on that tournament with his team and his wares, Kyle.
Absolutely. No, and I guess we can break it down into the tale of two stories here. So we've got first and second aces and Ginny. Fantastic. But the early statement, first major of the year, Disconnection gets the dub over Disc Golf Warehouse.
Look out.
It's a point, but a dub's a dub.
Ooh, that's not going to upset anyone at all.
Oh, no. Look, I think it's going to be an absolute battle between these powerhouses. I think they might be hard-pressed to catch up to the top two. Not to spoil the rest of the season, but I think we're going to be looking at a very interesting battle here through the year. Yeah. And I'm keen to see who of Heiser Flight, Circle 5 and Kingfisher hit the scoreboard first. This is your notice.
Yeah.
Get some MPO points.
Melton Meatball, that's you.
Yeah, the meatball's got to get out there. Tim Bowen, Riz Wiz.
I mean, look at
Five. Who we got? Circle 5.
Circle 5. Well, we're heading down to Tassie in 2 weeks, and you'd expect,
big opportunity,
based on the field down there. Well, I did see. Did I see some names?
OMC.
Did I see some capital city names on the list?
No.
Okay. I might have checked it today. Hit us up in the chat if you're heading down there, Jade.
OMC, how bizarre.
Who does
I feel like Jade and the dog are heading down to Tassie. But otherwise, we'd expect some points from OMC down in Tassie. We'd expect that once Timmy Bowen is back and doesn't have any weddings. I did. Thank you, Frosty. I'm right. So we're going to see the dog and Jade at least down there. Is Frosty coming? Love it, Jade. Okay. So we're going to see some battles down there. We're looking at the Disc Golf Warehouse points. Austin's going. He's Disconnection. Well, that's where Disconnection's 10 points have come in.
Yep.
And Bainey, Disc Golf Warehouse didn't have a great showing at the Sizzler. So we're going to see, I believe we're seeing Bainey down there. We're seeing Jindy down there in Jade. We're seeing Austin down there in Disconnection. We're seeing OMC from Circle 5. I don't think we're seeing Tim. But yeah, we'll see some points distributed. So
Looking real good.
Interesting. So we did get some feedback last time, Kyle, that we only covered MPO, and we did it as an exercise last time. So this time we have covered the other. Well, let's go to all pro divisions. So the pro divisions competing at the Sizzler were MPO, FPO, and MP40.
Yep. And I mean, it becomes a lot more interesting conversation as we kind of would have thought would happen last year with our little exercise. Was there a massive jump in Heiser Flight? Obviously, the lovely Sarah Lee getting the job done in FPO is a massive contributor there. Jindy stays stagnant. But the other big jumps here, Disc Golf Warehouse and the Flying Aces just extend that lead.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
The Flying Aces have got...
Keep yourself under
The
control.
Flying Aces have got Ryan Johnson, who was second in MPO, was on Latanji.
Johnny Cranston.
Johnny Cranston wasn't there. But you've also got Ockers. You've got Sam Ockerby, third place in FPO. So yeah, you've got some distribution across those. Jindy obviously doesn't move, but Jason, we see a back marker coming up above the ones down the bottom there. Who have we got?
Down the bottom,
9 points.
Cross Tasman.
Cross Tasman.
Cross Tasman. Few more Cross Tasman shirts getting around out there.
Cross Tasman shirts. Well, just down the road from the home of Cross Tasman in Canberra, so it might have been a proximity thing, but yeah.
Yeah, plenty of Cross Tasman shirts, so making a charge. Maybe see a bit more of them and getting it really interesting.
Yep.
You know where we will see a few more of them?
New Zealand.
Hopefully. Bit of New Zealand, yes, you're right. But as we head up to New South Wales towards the end of the year, they are going to make a push.
Yeah.
Absolute push. So
getting interesting.
Yes. And yes, Frosty, it was the singer from T-Rex that got the points for Cross Tasman. He played MP40 over the weekend. Yes. So, yes, it was Mark Boland. So interesting. But yes, we might see some in New South Wales at the end of the year. But interesting to see a few more of those green and black Cross Tasman.
Looking forward to checking back in with this Tully and see how it goes throughout the year. And I think everyone else is interested in it too.
And look, you've seen the shoulders of Austin D'Alessandro. They're big, right? They're big, wide, broad shoulders. Are they this big? He's the only one that's tallied a point. It's still Aussie's 10 points holding up Disconnection. So can he hold them up? Let's see if anyone else from Disconnection's been able to put up some points and push them above Disc Golf, Warehouse, and the others. So this is all divisions together.
That changes things. I mean, that really starts to look at the narrative with Cross Tasman. Jason, you're right. You saw a lot of them out there this weekend.
I did see a lot of Cross Tasman, so a big showing at a competition. It just shows you what a big showing at your local state competition can do for your points tally, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Obviously, I got snubbed by Heiser Fly earlier in the year. It looks like VD down there. Volterra discs could do with some bodies. I'm a heartbeat. Give me a month or two maybe to recover. But Mikey Hare, I'm here for you if you want it.
Do you follow him on Instagram, Matty?
Of course I follow him on Instagram.
That'd be a nice change.
Is that the Volterra Bowens?
The Volterra Bowens, yeah. Yep. Let's go. Come on, I'll captain the team.
So no movement from the Aces. Obviously, not a lot of none of their AM division players getting in the top 10 there. But we do see Cross Tasman get some more points. We also see Heiserfly jump up. Can't imagine where they came from.
No idea, Ashley. No idea.
No idea where those points.
Sarah Lee.
Nah.
Ash, the biggest takeaway here. Look at all those freelancing points going to waste at the bottom.
Yeah. But down the bottom, the 125 points, that's a little pirate ship. That's our privateers. So they're our people that aren't sponsored. They're our, we had, you can pick up points in MA3, MA2, MA4, FA4, FA40, whatever division you want to play. So they're our privateers. They're all the points that went begging in the pro divisions. I think we did it down to MA1. For privateer points. Otherwise, it would have been in the thousands.
Yes.
In the other divisions. But Kyle, thoughts?
Look, I think Matty, you melted down earlier in the year about all these sponsorship announcements, but I can only think that seeing all of these privateer points go to waste, it's going to be another round, Matty. Are you going to be okay?
Look, with the competition that's being sort of built up here, I'm all for it.
Fantastic. So, manufacturers, retailers out there, you've been warned. Matty is going to be okay. He's going to be out there liking some posts, digesting the feed, get those sponsorships moving.
Can I just ask a very poignant question? Do they have any form of physical to join these teams?
If so, Matty might be struggling.
Yeah. The Aces have Ryan Michelle, a qualified physio. Fergie.
Barney, if any teams are looking, or Sam Barnett, if any teams are looking for a committed cheater, I'm available. Fantastic, Barney. Wonderful. Look, hey, you've heard it here first. You've got an exclusive. Matty's looking for any sponsorship. I think we know which way Jason's leaning on which retailer team he wants to put his weight behind. And Kyle and I are already spoken for. That's our retailers championship. So it's hotting up. I've got something now. Speaking of hotting up, it's been hotting up in Ballarat. It's been windy in Ballarat, and we've got a little thing to chuck in just before we get to our flagship segment. Let's be honest. We're going to move to just earlier in the year, or last year actually. We went out and filmed the Big Wet in Ballarat. We didn't have flyovers, so Jason, you may not know, you might have seen or heard him around the course. is our drone pilot of Park Force 1. But we're actually flying Park Force 2 at the moment because we ended up, if you've played Hole 5 at Ballarat, this is... Fat Annie's Cafe is happy to sponsor players. You get a free coffee on Tuesdays between 4 and 6 p.m. Fantastic. Thank you, Fat Annie's Cafe.
The Fat Annie's Fannies.
If you've got a shirt, Jason might be interested, and he drinks a lot of coffee, and that'd be just in time for Tuesdays at Bald Hill. Yeah, fantastic. But yeah, so serious note, if we can after that, we did go Hole 5 at Vic Park. Jason got a little bit cocky. Filming Rhino Hart throwing a Fat Annie over the lake and trying to run the eagle. Jason wanted to follow him with the drone. He went a little bit left and ended up in the tallest, driest tree. I think Reese Circuit measured it at about 25 metres up in the air. So we gave up on that and we put the funds together. Or Jason won a quaddie. I can't remember. I think it was the quaddie, wasn't it? Jason ran a quaddie, and we ended up with Park Force 2. But okay, but we did get a message to the park inbox earlier today, which I'll share with Jason now. Hey, I've just come across your drone in Vic Park. Was wondering if you would like it back and how I can get it back to you. We had park stickers all over it, so we thought this might happen eventually. But Jason, just to let you know, your drone that's been up there since July last year in the Ballarat weather is now, hopefully, he hasn't got back to us yet, but hopefully at Guff. Mark Carter, Don Carter, anyone from Guff or Ballarat, if you're watching, let the Guff guys know some rando might drop a drone in, and we will head up to Ballarat and pick up that drone and might video us charging it up and seeing if it still works.
that is unbelievable because I thought that drone would never come down. And I thought if anyone was going to find it, it was going to be Reese Circuit because he drives past on his way to work every day to see if it's still up there.
God bless Australia's favourite TD.
Yeah.
Because we were getting a message for like once, twice a day, just driven past the drone again. It's still up there from Reese. Like he, there he is. Great. I think that's Reese Circuit. He is absolutely stoked. So he was more interested in getting the drone back almost than you were, Chase. But, so it's going to be a Guff, Reese, if you want to go and see that drone at some point. Touch it, feel it, and let us know if it still works, so it's worth our trip down to Ballarat.
It is famous, that drone. It is world famous, as we know, or it's definitely famous in the disc golf circles. And we love things that are famous, but it's nowhere near as famous and as massive as this next segment.
I'm doing lamb roast.
Serve lamb on Australia Day.
Butcher.
I hope you're hungry, Kyle. I hope you're hungry, Matty.
Starving.
Because it's time for this week's meaty Lamb Shanks. Now, as we know, we have my pick of the week, and I like to pick a shank from the coverage that we've shot or from ones that I've seen or ones that I've seen in professional coverage or international coverage or whatever. But this week I saw, and I've changed the rules a little bit to Lamb Shanks 3 weeks in. I can't narrow it down to one shank because there was a particular hole on, it was hole 10 at the Sizzler on the gold layer, and I don't think I saw any player for the entire weekend handle it particularly well at all. But particularly on day 3, if I can, am I allowed to do this? Am I allowed to shank an entire card?
Your segment. You may as well.
I'm going to shank an entire card from the Sizzler. And this was the lead card, mind you.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, he gets the power.
And he goes straight into it's a 105-metre hole, and that tree is about 30 metres away, and Chili's decided to go straight for it and see what he can do, but bang, into the tree. Jay Brady, our winner, let's see how he handles it. Now, he's surely going to do it better. Straight into the tree. We're just going to replay that. Yeah, basically landed on top of Chili's disc. So then, Aussie D. Now he marches to a beat of a different drum. We've got an old no from Aussie, and he's gone right, and he's nearly taken out the card on the next hole. Yeah, people scampering out of the way. Now we'll wait. Now Dylan Feldman was last up. Let's see how Dylan handled it.
Oh, you're kidding.
Bang. Now I was standing there just to the left of the screen.
Oh, you're kidding.
And that was one of the loudest noises I've heard. And the dish dropped straight to the ground, and Dylan looked at his caddy and went, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I think you said something like, "That's not that bad," or something. Yeah,
at least it's in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, to the lead card on day 3 of the Sizzler, you are all in the Shank Tank this week. And if any of you are new to the tank and you're not sure how it's going to play out until the next episode because you haven't sort of quite been there, speak to Dylan because this is his 3rd time in the Shank Tank.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's my pick. Now, the best part of the whole Lamb Shanks segment is the home viewer segment.
Oh,
now, I always invite you all to send in your Lamb Shanks videos to lambshanks@parkmedia.com because I love combing my way through them. But first, I've got an honourable mention. Now, this happened on hole 10 at the Sizzler on a warm-up round. I'm not going to say who it was. I'll see if you can work it out. But there's a guy in this room that's going very red-faced at the moment. So we'll just bring it up. This is an honourable mention because I just couldn't leave it out. Now, that was our own Kyle Herbertson. Now, that was shot 4 on the practice round that went into the same tree.
Yeah.
So I decided after the 3rd one I should start filming him. But once again, the very essence that this segment is built around.
Yes, it is.
But we did have one sent in this week or last week from a guy that I've played a lot of disc golf with who's an absolute character, Mr. Duncan McIntosh. Now, to set the scene for this, he was filming form videos to send to Dave Perry because he wanted to have some lessons on his backhand form. So he set up his net in his backyard and he's thought, well, I'll just film some simple little putter shots and just give him an idea of the way I should throw. And this is what happened.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Oh, my.
Oh, the Did you see the flutter? Was that that looks like an upshot speed as well.
That is Duncan McIntosh's power up backhand.
Can we just bring it up for a second? We're getting some absolute fire comments in the chat. We've got Austin's apparently the self-professed best player of hole 10 at Weston Park in Australia. But can we just bring that up again? Have a look at his practice net. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Has he set up that practice net?
No, well, he's jagged it between the tree and the water tank. Now, he did go on to tell me that there's usually kids that play out in the backyard just behind there. So he managed to not kill a kid, to not hit anyone. But yeah, that is a hands down winner this week.
Yeah.
But, so well done, Duncan McIntosh.
We love you, Duncan.
What I will say before I funnily enough, actually,
feels like OnlyFans for disc golfers is that comment that's come in that's made us all spit out our water there.
He went on to tell me that since recording that video, he sent it to Dave Perry, and that was in May last year, and he hasn't heard back from him yet. Dave's gone right back to the drawing board for that one. But I will say before I finish the best segment in sports commentary in the world that please send me your Lamb Shanks I want to see them. I want you to film your mates. I want to see some real crap shots, and the crapper the better. But send them to lambshanks@parkedmedia.com because this segment is about to kick off, and sooner or later I'm going to have to stop accepting videos because it's blown right up. But anyway, that's for another episode. That is Lamb Shanks.
There it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. The segment you're all tuned in for. It's good to see you're still watching after Lamb Shanks. That's about it for us. We do have one regular segment left as we scrambled. He's over there?
Yeah.
Let him in? Yep. Come in. Professor Park is here, ladies and gentlemen, and he's got some questions for you. You definitely won't recognise Professor Park as he's in disguise, but here he is. We've got a quiz, so I'm going to watch the chat because often they get the answers before we do.
Hello.
Welcome to the show, Professor. Good to see you again.
Professor, thanks for
Really
coming
good
in,
to see you
mate.
again.
Just looks like Hugh Grant with glasses.
Well, this week in honour of going to Canberra, the shithouse capital of Australia.
Whoa!
No, that hurt me.
Austin D'Alessandro, Jade Brady, and Dan Frost. I'm looking at you. And so I've come up with a very interesting quiz today based on useless stats.
All right.
So,
You're early, Professor Park.
fantastic. We all saw a fantastic example in the Shank Tank from earlier. Hole 10 played extremely poorly. It's a 105-metre hole. It shouldn't play that hard, right? So the quiz today is which holes at the Sizzler had the most strokes per metre. So
Jesus.
using hole 10 as a standard, there are 3 holes with a higher stroke per metre count than that hole.
I need some hole numbers.
8.
8, Jason. Good guess.
I only know because I had a lot of them.
8 was, funnily enough, the third least strokes per metre. Because it only averaged 5 something, and it's
not that
200
long.
metres.
I don't think it's that long. Yeah, it's just windy and I want to go with.
You're next.
What's that?
You go next.
Okay.
Go. All right.
I've got one.
Oh, okay. I want to go with. I can't remember the number of the hole. It's the one after 14. So where you go out through the trees. 13. Are we talking blue or are we talking Pusey, brownie?
We're talking the gold. So these are using stats from the MPO guys.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to go that. I'm going to go 14.
14 is also incorrect.
Okay.
I'm going to say 18.
18.
18 is the one over the hill.
Jason's got one of them.
Yeah.
That's the second most strokes per hole. And the chat has got
3. They're all going for 3.
got none of them. What are you boys doing?
3. Yeah, it's got the island. Yeah, 3, 5, and 15. Yeah.
3.
So per metre. So per metre. So it could be 2.
2 is a fantastic guess, and it's in there. Jason's 2 from 3.
So we got 2 and
2 and 18.
On the downhill.
It can't be 21.
It's going to be a short hole. I
So
feel.
you divided the
Well, that's what they've done in the chat. They've gone for 3, 5, and 13.
Yeah, sorry, Matty.
What about
bro?
what's got OB? Nothing really. Could it be 20?
No,
No,
not
that's
20.
long.
20 was, funnily enough, the easiest
Yeah.
strokes per metre.
Really?
What about
Yes.
What if I thought that'd be 1?
No, that was the second easiest.
Yeah. Okay.
what about 6?
6 is also not it.
Okay.
Oh, the up the weird.
Down the hill.
Yeah,
Jay Brady,
yeah.
you're on a track here, but if you're going to keep guessing along that track, you're going to be here for a while.
10, 11.
11?
Barney's
12.
7.
Sammy Barnett also not on.
What about 12?
If only you could cheat at the quiz, Barney.
Well, you can. You can just look up the stats.
Oh, no. I know.
What do you got, Jay?
Is it 21?
No.
Is it 11? No.
Cam Mitchell also no. Frosty also
What
no.
haven't we said? 9.
Oh, boys. It's just taking too long.
20.
I want my segment back. No, you just said 20.
I said 21.
Oh, neither of those.
All right.
It is hole 16. That dinky little par 3. 76
Oh, the
meters
narrow one.
Oh,
was the hardest strokes per meter
Yeah, fair enough.
of the entire layout.
is that why my car was impressed when I birdied it on day 2?
I would say so.
Ash.
I'd say so. So, Austin, I'd save your time learning how to throw hole 10 again. And instead, just go park 16 on repeat. It's the hardest strokes per meter hole at the Sizzler.
Just a little baby flex on a Glow Buzz. That's what it took, just
fantastic.
so you know. Yeah.
Great
And-
stat, Professor.
Before we bugger off, I've got another question for anyone on this couch, really. But what's the median house price in Canberra?
Did Jason know already? We could get offended.
I'm narrowing it down, but I'm just sort of trying to work out which suburb I want to live in at the moment.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, it's
Narrabunda.
it's not as cheap as you think it would be. Low
No.
government money floating around in Canberra.
Australia's capital.
It is Australia's capital, so
Prestige in that.
I'm hoping that median house price in Keilor is just in the last couple of years.
Frosty's given a guess of $1 million.
Well, Frosty's not far off.
Really?
It's 983,000 median house price.
Really?
The lost puppy has lost his mind, and Jason is about to lose his.
I got 2 out of 3 right there.
Look.
So
My codene's wearing off. so-
Jade's saying 800. Yeah, okay.
Look,
Jade must
900,
be from Queanbeyan.
980, yeah, must be.
800 I can do.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well,
There you go.
for our sake, we hope that Jason doesn't leave us and
I
it's
was-
like 1.3, but,
Park Media Canberra Division. What does everyone think about that?
Well, I was going to guess 285. So that just shows either my lack of knowledge of Canberra or my lack of knowledge of house prices. Unit or townhouse? Oh, okay. Unit or townhouse? Jade's thinking of just some, some unit living. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. But one of those houses by the lake at Lake Burley Griffin. I was calling it Lake Wendouree all weekend. But Lake Burley Griffin would be 1.1 million probably. 1,285,000. Yeah.
I mean, especially with Weston Park in close proximity.
Yeah. Lovely. All righty. So let's have a look at the run sheet. I think that about wraps us up for the night. What's that?
It would have to, surely.
It would have to. We've tried to keep it under an hour, and we've gone an hour and a half again, even with the tech at the start. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Our plans for the next week. You will see the front nine of what's it called? The Sizzler on Gatekeeper pretty soon. With commentary from the guys on the tee-off, who none of them played it, so that'll be interesting. 1.4 for an old townhouse. They're still going on. They must be on realestate.com.au. Shout out my day job. And I still didn't know the median house price in Canberra. But we'll be on Gatekeeper for front, 10? Front 11?
So we're doing front 11, back 10. Thanks, boys, for using a 21-hole layout. Really made my life delightful.
Yeah. They didn't learn from last year where it stuffed up Justice's coverage and graphics and everything. So they've gone, we'll go 21 this year. We still won't make it 18. But, yeah, so we'll go front 11, back 10 with us on our channel, and we'll plug the hell out of it. You guys will see it. It's going to be out pretty soon. We'll also be heading down to Tasmania, which is right next door to Discmania, and we will be hopefully throwing some frisbees, definitely flinging some frisbees down there. Looks like we're going to catch up with the Canberra boys down there. Hopefully more of you get down to Tassie and play Wallaby Hill. We'll be down there with cameras. We will be down there with frisbees. We'll be down there with lots of other things, and we will see you there. Please don't release round 2. Frosty, we have to release round 2. It's got the greatest piece of disc golf footage that we filmed, which is not one of our aces. It is Frosty and the Daihatsu. So it has to go out. But until next time, thanks for watching, and...